Hello everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would do another take a look at the workshop and take a look at 5 creations by other authors. And at the end of this video, I've got something else to show, something brand new that I was working on extensively yesterday. So it didn't exist before yesterday, but we will get to that. But anyway, the first one I wanted to show is the external Torment by Iscarly. This is a pretty crazy, crazy looking CV for sure. I believe it was kind of half made to be a AI controlled ship as well. Maybe entirely. I do not know exactly, but I was just kind of taking a look at this, and this is it's pretty wild. I'm gonna have to do the lighting thing with this too, but I've figured we would scroll around the body first here and take a look at all the intricacies and lighting and colors and you name it that's going on with this. Very very unusual looking creation with a lot of block work, a lot of Iscarly in it. And Iscarly does have his own style. It's quite unique. It's kind of like I don't know. Hard to even place what it looks like, but it looks really cool, that's for sure. So yeah, if you take a look at, yeah, geez, I mean, everywhere you look on this ship, though, you've got detail stuff going on everywhere, just crazy, crazy. All right, so what I'm gonna do before I even go inside it this time, I'm gonna turn down the lighting here, because I have a feeling it's going to look pretty crazy at night, and it does. Yep, all the green lighting going around. That is very, very cool. Very cool. Just look, every little nook and cranny you look at, there's just something else going on. That's very, very cool. Now there's a couple things I don't know about this ship too. I mean, it's a pretty big ship. I do not know the interior. I'm not even sure exactly how I'm supposed to get in it yet. But look at that. I love how that green is. You know, that the green, and then you see the texture light accents over the green. That's definitely got a unique look. So how does one get in this ship, though? That is the question. I was kind of wondering if a door is going to lower down or something down here. I'm not sure. I might have to buzz through the hall here to take a look. But yeah, it very well could be designed to oh, hey, look, here's a door. Ooh, blast door. We are in. We are in. Maybe not the way I was supposed to go in, but this is definitely an in, and it definitely looks like it's set up for a player too. Yeah, look at all this stuff that's going on in here. Oh, we got a blast door over here. Oh, open sesame. Oh, look at this. Yeah, Iscarly's big into POIs too, so this could very well be intended to be a POI, or maybe it already is. I do not know. I wouldn't say this version's a POI because I'm not seeing all the POI stuff, like spawners and things like that, but it definitely looks like it could be a POI. So how do we get around here, and where am I going? So we took this corridor. This wraps around to some other stuff, and there's, yeah, all kinds of cargo boxes. The lighting's really, really cool. I mean, around every corner there's something interesting to look at here. A lot of texture work too. So that's this. Yeah, that is where I came in at. So I seem to have went around in a circle. Yep. I get it too. I mean, even with my own creations, I try to watch that. It's when you're building it yourself, you might know what's going on, the layout and everything, but when other players get into it, they're kind of like me, probably fairly lost, at least for a little bit until you get familiar with the layout. It looks like I definitely went to some other areas here. Wow, this is really something. What a look. What a look. Oh, that's cool. That is very cool. Let's head down this way now. Wow. Okay, so here we got our pilot seat. See, I didn't even know I was facing, like, I assumed the pilot seat's facing forward. I didn't even know I was looking forward when I went. I thought I was looking forward going this way. That's how confused I am right now. It's not really all that confusing, though. I'm just being an idiot. So I'm looking at this pilot seat here with this force field around it. That is pretty interesting. I don't think I've ever seen that done before. But I do have O2 right here, but it looks like that is a separate unit in case there's a hull breach. The pilot will remain in O2 because of the force fields and its individually placed ventilator right above there. Interesting idea. So let's head back over this way. Okay, looks like we got like some kind of control room. Oh, well, I thought that might have been a teleporter, but that's just neat stuff to look at there. I wouldn't doubt if there's a teleporter somewhere. I know Scarlet likes his teleporters as well. Oh, look at this. Jeez. Yeah, this is another one of those creations that you can tell a lot of time and effort was put into it. And when everything is just like, everything is touched, everything is like tweaked and detailed, and just so much block work going on everywhere. Been there. And maybe this is the way I came down in, or maybe not. Alright, well, I'm just trying to evaluate. It looks like it, I mean, from what I can see, it has everything in it for player function. Have to take a look at the full amount of cargo systems. Actually, let's do that real quick. Let's see. Container controller, we got a 320, another 320, 200 for ammo, another 320 for ammo. And it looks like quite a few cargo boxes and things like that around. Okay, so we got some storage. Okay, so we were down there. Oh, where does this go? So I'm taking a look at this big warp area over here. Wow. Look at all that. That's crazy. And keep in mind, I got it at night right now too, so everything you're seeing is because of the ship's lighting inside. Oh. I got a blast door over here. Interesting. Doesn't look like it goes anywhere, but it's alright. Probably the same over here. No. Oh wait, no, there's an elevator going down this side. Oh wow, okay, so we got looks like a crew area over here. Shower. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. Yeah. So now I'm really curious if this is a POI, intended to be a POI, already a POI. It looks like it would have a lot of areas to go through and shoot up the bad guys as you ran through here. Okay, so this actually goes outside on one of these crevices over here. And I probably missed parts of the ship. But yeah, no, this is really cool. And the external Torment by Scarlet, very cool design. A lot of attention to detail, a lot of crazy shaping, a lot of colors, a lot of texture lights, a lot of lighting, a lot of everything. Very cool. So that is the first one. The second one I wanted to show here is the Zingaro MPC by barefootnhilbily. This is a smaller crate. Well, no, not necessarily. That is this guy right here. This one, I was looking at the workshop blueprint of it, and it just looked really cool. I like the look of it. The coloring, the white with the orange and the black. Just looks real technical. It looks futuristic, kind of like insane and kind of plausible too. It's looks pretty sweet here. So this is just one of those creations that kind of on a whim I wanted to take a look at, and yeah, it's oh, look at this hanger. We're gonna have to do the lighting thing here too. I'm seeing lights all over the place. Nice big hanger. I like that. Looks like everything's kind of set up. We've got some constructors, some storage boxes. On specs, okay, so this one is CPU compliant, you know, and I apologize. I did not look at the specs of this one over here. I want to see what was going on here. So, size class 8, 24-hour build time. A lot of weaponry on it as well. And CPU wise, it's I'm in vanilla. Now one of these creations I'm going to show today is not for vanilla, but this one is within CPU of vanilla CPU at 10 million. Just gets up there too. All right, so back to barefootnhilbily's Zingaro MPC. So this is kind of like a mobile base, and I believe that is what the blueprint description basically saying as well. And it definitely looks that way. I do like I like hangars anyway. I like places to dock stuff, and this one has a really nice one. Very nicely detailed inside of here too. A lot going on with the ceiling and the walls and the floor. Looks like it has a location for a repair bay. You have some hangar side utility. Let me go to nightlight here a second, and I just want to see what that looks like if it was all dark. Yeah, looks nice inside too. I like that subtle kind of red glow around these lights, these texture lights over here. Kind of makes them look fairly plausible. It's a neat thing. It would be kind of neat if you could. If the texture lights actually would illuminate more, like if you put in a texture light, God, my computer's just boiling right now too. I keep on hearing the video card like fans kick on. I never really saw. I redid the heatsink thing, but it really didn't do much in the end. So I don't know. Maybe my card's just getting old and whatnot, but it seems to be running kind of hot with this game, but not so much with other games. I did turn down my graphic settings slightly on this one as well, but still, when I'm on the planet's surface looking around, I'm looking at my GPU usage, and it's extreme. It's basically like I'm running a benchmark stress test on my computer. I'm not sure why that is all of a sudden. It didn't seem to be that way in the past, but with newer patches it seems to, I don't know, just suck up more GPU power. No, I'm really liking the inside of this though. This is, it's kind of, it's roomy. It's kind of laid out like a great big base. We got a grow plot area over here that kind of overlooks over the hangar. I like the lighting too. It's mostly white lighting, but you do have some colored lighting in the hangar there around those texture lights, which was very appropriate to do because it looks like it should have been that color in that area due to the color of the texture lights. So yeah, no, there's just a lot of room in here. It looks like you could put in a lot more stuff, for sure. Now what I am doing is I've been kind of looking for the pilot seat. I know this has thrusters. I know it flies, right? Oh, no. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is a mobile base, but it is a capital vessel. Yeah, size class 5. About a 5-hour build time. Really low on CPU. So yeah, this is just a tier 1. So I gotta assume that this thing is completely designed to upgrade, and that's why I'm not seeing a pilot seat, because we have all these thruster mount areas. So this is a lot like the Janus. So kind of yeah. Oh, I really dig it. So yeah, if you wanted a big base, it starts as a base, and then you upgrade this to be a flying CV with a big hangar and just a lot of room inside it. This would be a good one for you. I do like that idea. I really do. I mean, um, yeah, that's cool. That is very cool. So that's it totally explains why I'm not finding a pilot seat too, because I got the same thing going on with the Janus. There is no pilot seat. The pilot seat required something. I forget what. If it up the unlock level. Speaking of that, what is the unlock level here? Unlock level is 10. Okay. I knew there's something up with the pilot seat though. It needed either resources or up the unlock level or something. There was a reason why I didn't put it in the Janus as well. As trivial as a pilot seat might be, it just something was going on with that. So better just to leave it out if you're going to do that kind of creation. But again, love the look and styling of this. Love the plausibility of it. It kind of, especially you look at it from a little bit of a distance. Imagine if you were playing like an RTS game and you got this like top-down view and you're looking at all your creations. This looks like it could be like something that a building or something you spawn into the game. You know, like your tank building base or whatever the RTS is about. You know, so very cool. Awesome work on this one. Yeah, by barefootnhilbily, and all these will be in the video description as well. So next one I wanted to take a look at here is the Vulcan by Bullet Magnet, or Bull 3 Mag N3T. A lot easier to say Bullet Magnet. And that is this guy over here. Now this one's a little older, I believe, but I came across it on the workshop, and I love the stance of it with the big legs and stuff like that. And yeah, I thought this was pretty neat. So this kind of looks like it's, you know, it's done with the rough metal, which I like to use for the scar as well. So kind of set up with that more industrial, worn look. But yeah, that stance is really really cool, and the other like parts, like kind of like some shocks or something that are or piping, you know, going out to these extended landing pads up on the top. Um, and that is cool. So this is kind of like a base as well. Um, interesting design, but it's actually a CV. Oh yeah, look at all the room up top here. So I almost kind of like it's a drop down air pad, or you know, big landing pad. Kind of has that animal look a little bit because of the legs and the head coming out there. Well, I interpreted it as a head, but just a building. So let's go in one way or another here and see what's up with the interior. Um, Now let's do the lighting thing too, see what we're looking like here. Okay, so we've got kind of that a little bit darker lighting, but everything is very visible. That's cool. Welcome to Vulcan. Flight deck access, bridge engineering, constructor workshop. Okay, so we have a lot of stuff in here. Yeah, you know, reading, jeez. You know, I yell other people for not reading, but yeah, I'm just as bad. It's just a cover. Oh, this is cool. I like the color change differences. You walk into one room, you got a blue door, and then you go into this other one over here. Warning: fuel under pressure. This is really cool. I'm glad. Yeah. Oh yeah. So we got some fuel storage rooms over here. Makes a lot of sense. We still got under pressure fuel. I got a couple container controllers over here for what? Both ammo. 72K. And ore and wood. Oh, harvesting, huh? So captain's room. ready room, bridge. I do like signs. Signs help a lot. I do like to try to do that myself. Is get some LCD signs in, and that's if you looked at some of the stuff I built in the past, you'll almost never see me use LCDs for like instrument clusters or like graphics, like regular display graphics, unless I'm like naming a lounge or something. Usually I use LCDs and signs and things like that for navigation through a creation, or to tell you where your storage bays are and how much storage are in them. I've been down this hallway already. Let's go down. Let's go down to another floor. So I'm kind of running amok. I'm sure some of the authors here are like, "Oh, you missed the room to the left," and I know. I'm sure I'm missing stuff. I can't imagine if I looked at something like like the Leviathan that I didn't build. I'd be like, "Oh my God, I don't know where I'm going." So this goes down to this room. Oh, I hate those doors. Can't avoid it. Let's go check out the bridge. Ooh, yeah, that's some intense lighting up there. Looks pretty cool though. Kind of like that. It's got a neat lighting look to it for sure. And there's our pilot seat. So yeah, this is quite the complex. Kind of like a mobile airfield that you can drop down on the ground, sits on legs, got all these landing pads and base function and different things like that inside of here. Now this one, maybe it's made for Reforged Eden. I did not check that out, but I was looking at the CPU slightly a bit ago, and I'm thinking, or maybe it's just an older creation before CPU was around. But it is well over CPU, but it has like no CPU blocks in it. Obviously, in vanilla, you can go up to 10 million CPU with CVs, so 4 CPU blocks would make it totally happy. And maybe there's even a location for that. I'm not 100% sure though. But God, did I see all of this? Oh no, I did not see the hangar. Oh wait, no, this is like, oh wow, I didn't see the bottom here. I'm gonna turn on the lights again here. I want to see what's going on down here. So this is just kind of like open to the bottom. So you're literally like walking around this upper area here, and it's just yeah, right going down to the ground. Huh. That's cool. That is very cool. We got a repair bay here. That is really interesting. Can that work that way? Are you supposed to pull up vehicles somehow over here? Can that stretch? I'm not sure. Maybe he's onto something I don't know, because I always thought repair bays were very tight. Like you had to be like within a block or something away. I remember I ran into a huge problem with a repair bay on creation waypoint hangar, because I decided I wanted to make the floor go down like a half block so I could get some neat looking trim along the sides. And then when I placed the repair bay, even though it was like one more block away, it didn't work. So then I had to patch the creation and make this weird hump in the middle of the hangar, which I hated to do, to make the repair bay function again. So yeah, I don't know. I would have to. I'm not sure if that works or not, or what you'd get in there. I mean, I think it would be awesome if the repair bays actually, had like a beam that would come down and hit like a range. Like maybe it would do like 20 blocks. If you had something crossing the beam of the repair, it would repair it, and that would give you a lot of flexibility in how you set that up, and you could probably use it in other ways. And maybe you can. Maybe I'm just missing something myself. Maybe it has to do with facing downward instead of upward. I'll have to investigate that a little bit, because I don't know if. To me, I'm just from what I know, I just look at it and I'm like, I don't know how you would repair anything with this repair bay, because how would you get anything up here unless it's a really small like SV. But maybe there is another way. What's in this little room up here? Okay, so we've got a seat here, which is above the hanger, so you could see down through the floor. It's a very unusual creation. It's cool though. It's got a unique. Everything's unique about it. And I dig that. So anyway, awesome work on this one. Very, very creative. Very different than from the norm. That is for sure. So next creation here is the SSW Mattock MK2 by Stan 2112. And that is this guy over here. Look at this. This looks like a CV gunship, and looks quite stout as well. I bet you this is a good, worthy, like endgame destroyer type CV. And by looking at the thrusters on here too, seeing the big thrusters, I bet you this thing's pretty quick too. Now, I do know this one is built for Reforged Eden. It's right in the description on that. And yeah, no, I'd be scared of this ship. It looks like it would do some pretty good and quick, swift damage. I like this. I like this back here. It's got this little landing pad back here. Let's take a look at inside of this. Because it's a combat ship too, I kind of want to check out its armament on the front as well, or on the sides, or just get a general look. So it looks like we've got some sealed parts here. Our big down thruster here has a big glass window in front of it to avoid chain reaction. Looks like a lot of other side parts are that way too. Again, being combat oriented, this is the way to go. I mean, if you're really, really using this in game to take down I don't know, whatever there is to shoot at. There's a lot of big, nasty ships to shoot at, that's for sure. But I can already tell you that, you know, for smaller ships, this would make a really short work of them. Nullifiers and that kind of thing. I bet you it would hold its own quite well with other things, and I bet you its strategy is performance. Yeah, don't mind the CPU on this at all. I wanted to see is just take a general look at what kind of thrust power we've got going on here. And yeah, exactly what I expected. This thing is very thrusty. So I believe its combat strategy is kind of a dual thing. One, it's got a lot of firepower. Two, it has very high maneuverability. So maybe if you encircle your opponent at maximum speeds, could be vertical, could be to the sides. I bet you there's more in the workshop description on that you could avoid most, if not all, damage on a lot of targets. So I would assume that this, to me, it just looks like this would be a very effective combat ship. Let's take a look at the hull. So we got hardened steel, but it might have, I'm expecting, steel, hardened steel. Okay, so this is, it's not used to combat steel. So I definitely believe that the strategy would be avoidance, which is a very good strategy, by the way. So that is, yeah, it's kind of, it's when I show you what I've got cooking up here in a minute, I was kind of thinking along the same lines, and but I also I went with combat steel too, but I'm not sure. Maybe it would be better served if it was just ultra quick, because I have a feeling this ship is quicker. Maybe we'll see. No, I like this though. If you're looking for a good like Reforged Eden combat ship, I'm sure it could probably translate to vanillist. Again, CPU statistics here would be showing wackiness because of the it's for Reforged Eden, and it would have different cores on it and doesn't add the numbers up right. But this one's looking at a little under 7-hour build time, running quite a lot of turrets, 11 plasma turrets. That does some pretty good damage right there. It's a small ship, well, relatively small. I won't say small, but it's I love the styling of it. Great shaping. Looking at the turrets, I got to assume that this works. When I usually place turrets, I usually like these turrets are 3x3, and this one's kind of encroaching, so it's like this would be one turret space over. But firing forward, obviously it has a clear line of sight going out this direction or turning that way a little bit. Obviously, all your up and downs. So I got to assume that this turret does not block that turret. And that was something I was always kind of wondering about myself. That's why I always try to space them out so they would be they'd be further apart. But I'm thinking that these would actually work. If I'm wrong on that, someone please correct me. I'm just taking a stabbing guess. But it looks like, yeah, so it's really designed, and this looks like these are all plasma turrets here. So when you're fighting, I bet you this thing's designed to move like really fast up and down, and fly around kind of in a circle, keeping this area exposed, as well as some of these side turrets, which would be able to shoot at the same angle and hit the targets. Anyway, very, very cool ship. Looks very, very useful. So for Season 3 Anvil Reforged Eden players, this would be looks like a very good ship to give it a good go in game. Take down those nullifiers and get those juicy quantum cores. All right, so the next creation here is by El Presidente, and it's PowerArmor. And this one's kind of a whim. I seen this, and I was just like, well, first I kind of like mechs. And this one kind of looks like it was, this is basically, it's a HV tree cutter. Kind of looks like a mech, though. Well, I'm sure it's definitely modeled after a mech. It looks pretty interesting. I like the stance and the color. And then we've got our function over here. We got a 5,000 harvest bay on it. Doesn't have any weaponry as far as I can tell. Love these arms with the hooks. Great use of the deco parts with that. God, no, hold on. Oh, that's a HV. I'm so used to SVs. I want to just go chop a tree with this. With the back. Yes. All right. We chop some trees. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. Looks like it would work just fine. I'll have to take a look at the price of it. I don't think it should be too expensive. So I bet you it's pretty low level unlocked too. But yeah, very cool design. Nice work on the texturing. No, I didn't land all the way, but you can just stay hovering. You like to be up there, don't you? Yes. Now we got some exterior lights. Yep, we got a spotlight control right there. 31 minute, 30 second build time. Real cheap, real cheap. Nothing special with resources at all. Unlocked level 5. So yeah, this is very cheap, inexpensive, very stylish tree cutter. Yeah, really cool design. Really cool design. Great use of deco parts, texturing. Yeah, it's done up very nicely. Very detailed for what it is. Cool shape and design concept for a tree cutter as well. And I can't imagine this would take up much space in a hangar either. It's not too big at all. Anyway, awesome work, El Presidente, and PowerArmor. I wonder if this is based a little bit around Fallout stuff. Could be. It's a little big for the PowerArmor they had in Fallouts, but color scheme would match pretty good. Unless there's bigger PowerArmor, I'm not familiar with. All right, so let me snake up to the sky, and I want to look at a certain view. Okay, so my new thing. Okay, so we got the good old Tachi. And this one was the first MCRN thing that I made. Obviously, a replica based on the TV series and books, The Expanse. And this is when I first, looking at pictures, I learned try to figure out the color scheme and try to match the colors that I seen in pictures of the ship flying around, and of course try to do the best job I could on the shape and design with the voxel blocks. Had to take a lot of liberties on it in places, but I try to hit the general formation of everything. The interior is totally not set up the way the real ship in the show is. Where they have a vertical interior, makes a whole lot of sense and is completely plausible on what the show is. Where when you're putting out output thrust, it creates gravity facing, in the by going this way, you're creating gravity. So all the floors were staggered, like vertically, like almost like this would be a high-rise building, and this would be the top of the building up here. Can't That stuff doesn't work so well in the game, and it can really cut up your interior, make it hard to use. So I didn't do that part of it, and this is 4 times the scale of the original Tachi from the show, which I believe was 46 meters long, and this is around 200 meters long. But anyway, so last video, I was talking about I want to make a new combat CV, MCRN, and I had some ideas in mind. And yesterday, I sat down to make a test chassis, and that's all I was really intending on doing. And then 10 hours later, I ended up with this guy over here. This isn't done. This is not done. I have not done the interior yet. So what we got going on here is we got a stout, quick, smaller gunship. And I wanted it to have all the specifications that I want in game for something like this. Obviously, it's quite a bit smaller than the Tachi. It's quite a bit smaller than the Trebuchet. But it's actually rocking better thrust than the Trebuchet has, because I wanted speed as well as guns. So speed and guns, what a great combination. So I'm in vanilla too, so it took away the Reforged Eden radar that I had in here. So this thing's rocking just the big thrusters. It's combat steel hull. I'm a little unsure if I even want a hanger in here, but it does have room for it, I believe. So I have to figure out exactly what I want in the interior. And I'm slapping in a lot of weapon placements. Obviously, I do not have the bottom finished on this. So we've got a lot of guns. I just got placeholder turrets right now of just a bunch of miniguns, but that would get swapped out. And then it also has installed 8 artillery launchers or launch bays. And in this ship, I did completely different than my normal builds. I started with a test chassis, and the test chassis was the concept that I wanted to get all the thrust laid out, and I wanted it all on the back. I didn't want any thrusters anywhere on the front of the ship or anything else like that. So I started from the back of the ship. I laid out a test chassis. I put on a whole bunch of weight on it, and I flew it around to see how it would handle. And then I went from there and built the shell around it. So yeah, and then I'm also trying to make a ship look like it would be more like something you would see in the Expanse show. A little bit more of a style like that, but not copying anything that's in the show. And then I pulled up the Tachi when I was texturing what I did here so far, and I wanted to try to capture that look, the color. I know I was a little off on some of my other MCRN creations, where it's kind of like I stopped using this really dark black and some of the textures that I actually used on the Tachi, and I wanted to kind of revert back and go to that style, which isn't that much different. But anyway, I came out with this, and I'm really excited for it. I think for its size and stance, it should be pretty effective. It's got a lot of firepower on it. It'll probably have a couple more gun emplacements. And so something like this, obviously you look at this with all the big thrusters and everything and the artillery launchers, and knowing that it would obviously have a shield and all that, you're like, oh, that's totally over CPU. And well, it is, but this is a endgame type of thing. And I'm going to, when I release it, it should be valid for Vanilla and Reforged Eden. and it'll probably have less parts on it. Like I might pull out a couple thrusters and put in like placeholders, but I want it to be able to achieve this level in game. With the with better turrets and minigun turrets. And you'd just be adding like quantum cores or auxiliary cores or whatever means to up your CPU in either vanilla or Reforged Eden. Not sure what means you update your CPU in vanilla, but I have heard there is some, and that would be a very good thing. So I don't have any interior or literally the bottom on this yet. Now, something else I made mention of when I was thinking about this build is that I wanted to be able to have it bring a miner along, because when you go out, say you blow up some nullifiers or take out something else, and you want to do some salvaging or mining, asteroids nearby or whatever. I wanted it to bring a miner, but then I'm like, well, geez, even the Plutus M1, it's kind of big, and I don't really want to make this big landing pad and things like that on here to do that. So I'm like, well, what if it didn't need that? What if it could just do the mining itself? So then I started thinking about the Plutus M2, which is a module which basically has two pilot seats, one going one direction and one going the other way. So when you're docking the Plutus M2, you'd fly in like the regular cockpit, and you would be able to dock in to a bay. And then when you're mining, you go into the cockpit in the rear of the ship, and that's where all your mining trails are, and then you go out mining. Well, what I got going on here is a little bit discreet right now, and I'm thinking about making it even more discreet. Here, let me turn on an option here, and we'll turn on the mining. So basically what's going on here is we've got a first-person mining view. We've got our drill positions. Now the drill positions are slightly further apart than I did on even the Janus. I have to test this. I have to see if this pattern works okay with mining. I kind of want the precision mining. I don't want it to form a hump in the middle where you're mining. So I'll have to see if this works out. But basically, you've got a couple spotlights that open up behind blast doors. I was literally thinking about sinking this window back and putting blast doors over that, and actually sinking the drills back and putting a blast door over those too. So literally, you could not see any part of this mining rig from the outside if it wasn't turned on. And that is kind of something I was wanting. Oh no, hold on, look at that. Oh yeah, I'm sure there's all kinds of texture blunders. I was kind of jamming on this pretty quickly yesterday, and I wasn't really intending on texturing so much, but I started with one area, and I'm like, oh, I just got to keep on going with this. So I even gave this one a number. Like the Tachi is 158. This one I just made up a number, added 100 to it, so it's 258. It's 258 combat steel setup. Now I set up these turrets as well, so they've got a great front line of sight on both the top and bottom. And starting from the back, now this has a big butt on it for sure, but I feel that would kind of feels right in the like the Expanse kind of ships too. They've a lot of them will have that kind of setup going on now. But I wanted this smaller. I wanted it more nimble. I didn't want it as big as the Trebuchet or the Tachi. And just kind of a tough ship, destroyer type. And I love them artilleries. That was like with the Kriel Bahamut. That was fun, and especially now that the sound effects changed and they actually feel impactful when you fire them. And lo and behold, too, you put some well-placed shots on things, and you can take out bad guys really quick, especially with like a round of like 8 artillery shells all at once. And the whole manual firing thing, like building a ship with turrets alone, all you're really doing as a pilot is just flying around. And to me, it's just like you're kind of like lacking a fun factor. You're lacking that manual fire kind of thing, and I like that actually. Of course, you want the turrets for a lot of stuff, but having some fixed weapons on there, especially powerful ones like these artillery launchers and Reforged Eden, can't complain about that. It adds a lot of fun factor to the game and combat, in my opinion. So that's what this one is all about. Is supposed to be fun, agile, tough, and can high damage output for a smaller package. So inside, obviously there is no inside, but it's kind of like laying it out on figuring out exactly what it's going to need, and I will strip it down to make it CPU compliant when you get it. But it's going to be totally dependent to make it more powerful, a lot more powerful in game by acquiring ways to increase the CPU on it. And I'm thinking about what I want to put in here. Like, again, I'm not even sure I want to keep a hangar, but I do believe I have the room for it. The problem with the design like this, though, is there's no way I'm going to get a door or a ramp, coming down to the ground. In fact, I was debating exactly how I want to do the landing gear. I'm thinking about sticking some landing gear somewhere back here that don't come down very far, and maybe sticking another something that comes down like maybe one of the taller landing gears somewhere in the midsection over here for landing, and then possibly even getting in an access door down in here. So I kind of ran out of time yesterday. I literally had about a 10-hour jam session building this one yesterday, and got really kind of into that. On the front styling, it's not the same, but I did kind of borrow the idea of the Tachi front end, at least this part of it. The rest of the ship is quite a bit different than the Tachi, though. But just little things like I might have to tweak this out a little bit more, but this is a bit of the shaping that you would see in this part over here, kind of using that unusual, well, I wouldn't say unusual angle, but probably it's an angle that I rarely ever used when building. And I'm starting to like embrace that as well because it can look really cool in the right setup. But anyway, last thing before I go, let me just take a look. Spec-wise, obviously everything's up in the air. I don't have, we're in vanilla too, and this is right now set up for Reforged Eden. It probably would not come with the mining rig on it. The drills, it'll have places to put them, but it just won't have them stock. Oh, I better get fuel in here. And the speed factors are pretty good on this, and that's why I made a test chassis first, is I wanted to, and we're also in vanilla too, so things fly different in vanilla, but in vanilla it moves really, really quickly. And that's cool too, because this is solid combat steel. It will get heavier because I'm going to bulk up that front for taking damage and things like that. But with this creation too, I wanted to kind of base a lot of its defense around a very fast operation and being able to dodge or spin around creations at high velocity, shooting them to hopefully try to avoid some damage. Where the Trebuchet was a larger, heavier ship, where that one was designed to just kind of aim the front at it and shoot and just take the hits. This one's going to be designed to take the hits too, but if it can maneuver around a lot quicker, maybe you can avoid a lot of hits in the process. So yeah, I'm excited. Final specs I don't know yet, but that's kind of where it's at, and it shouldn't break the bank either. It's not going to be cheap because of the all the stuff on it, but we'll see what it comes with when it actually gets released. Right now it's a size class 2. I'm estimating it to be somewhere around a size class 4 or 5 when it's complete with the full interior on it and everything else. So somewhere in that range. So it should be restricted to anything. It should be for vanilla and Reforged Eden, and completely upgradable to add in tons of stuff to make it hopefully a good, solid combat ship. And that's the goal. I want to get this eventually in season 3 play, and I want to go run around shooting stuff with it and upgrade it a lot and get those artillery launchers on there, which are big CPU hog, but they're really devastating and a lot of fun. So it's justified. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. So all these creations that I showed today are in the workshop, the YouTube description on the video, and yeah, check them out and see if some of these might be interesting for you for a future playthrough. And one last thing before I finally exit here. My release schedule is kind of as what I'm planning right now is obviously this Sunday I believe I'm going to release that small starter base as well as that turret I showed on the last video. The following week could be this, or it could be the Merc MX4, and then whatever one doesn't get put out there, it depends on when I get this one done. The Merc MX4 needs an interior, but that's relatively fairly quick project, comparatively speaking. So I'm thinking this one might be 2 weeks from now, but I'm really excited about it, and my heart, soul, and mind all want to work on this ship. So who knows what will happen. Anyway, you all have yourself a good day and a good weekend. I will talk to you later.